but just is saying how much he does love you, and
I love him right
he's
back.
with you, and he is a protector for you, and he wants you to know that.
I feel that from him. He asked him this when we were getting ready for his funeral. My girlfriend was on the way to pick me up. She's a childhood friend.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I see him standing at the, right at the doorway of my bedroom. Right outside my bedroom, there's a 20-foot ceiling and a skylight, so it's bright light coming in. And I see him standing there. My grandmother, he's holding one side, my grandfather on the other. He towers over them. He goes, "Look, sweetheart, look what I found. Mom and Dad." He was like, he hadn't seen them for years. Ask him, was that true? Because I was in tears, and my girlfriend witnessed it. She was on the phone with me when I saw this. She was driving to pick me up.
He's saying, yes, it was me. He goes, it was me.
Yes.
And he's telling me to tell you that when he passed, he went right over into the light.
Yes.
I went right over.
Yes, he was very happy.
Yes.
I heard a big sigh. He went, "Oh, I'm out of here."
He went right over.
Now, in the hospital, he said in the ICU 30 times. My mother was not in the room. She went to get him something. He was very, very ill. He died a slow, horrible death. And then the last day, he was smiling ear to ear. And that's when I knew he was passing. But he said to me 30 times, "I love you." He said my name 30 times. And he said, "I love you 30 times. And I was like in shock. Tell him I got it. I got the message. And I love him right back.
He's definitely with you.
Definitely.
Definitely.
That's a beautiful reading. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
What did you feel? Because I speak to people that have passed on all the time.
What I feel is who they were in life. I feel the energy coming from them. I also feel how they passed. I also have feelings to what happened to them before their passing. Say if it was a stroke with somebody, my face will pull back. If it was a heart attack, I'll feel it in my chest.
What do you feel? How do you feel he passed?
He's giving me breathing, something having to do with the breathing,
Right.
not being able to breathe.
Head emphysema.
Okay, he was talking about the breathing.
Now here's the part that I didn't like, but there's nothing I can do about this. When my gift first came out, which was many years ago, okay, when my teacher had healed me of MS, all of a sudden, the first year, I'm sitting there in a diner with my girlfriend, and I said, "Oh my God." And she said, "What's the matter?" I said, I see my father's death, how he dies. And she goes, "Oh my God." And I saw him go, "Oh, there's my mic." And that was last breath. That's very symbolic. That I would lose the mic. And he absolutely, it was like unbelievable. And I called my teacher up and I said, "My father's going to die." I mean, I was a kid when this happened. I said, "My father's going to die by losing, he's going to gasp for air and he'll lose his breath." And he said nothing to me. Okay? And then when my father, many, many years later, had a polyp in his nose, I had a tightening in my chest, and I said, "Oh my God, this was 3 years ago, my father's going to die." Now, where I would make a connection between a polyp in a nose and death, And then I called my teacher and I said, "My father is in the hospital, but they said it's nothing." And he said, "Hang on, Alexandra, it's going to be a bumpy ride." And it was. Now, so do you get a lot of requests to speak to people who have passed on?
I do get a lot of requests, but a lot of it, when I tell everybody, is whoever wants to come in comes in.
Yeah, they don't always come.
They don't come. I have to meditate to get to a certain level.
Yes.
Whoever's on my level, I connect to. If they're above me or below me, I don't get to them. So whoever comes in is who comes in and who you're meant to hear from.
Yes.
And I don't have control over that. And your father was just around wanting to talk to you.
Oh,
so
desperately.
There wasn't no.
He'll keep
problem
going
with
if he
that.
could. He's not going to stop. Okay. Now, have you ever been sought after by a spirit who wanted to get a message across to a living person?
Oh, yes.
Now, I'd like to just briefly tell the story, and then I want to hear about you.
Okay.
This is a little bit of a tribute to this family, okay? I thought of it this morning. Years back, I used to frequent this diner in Brooklyn. Very popular diner, very successful. Unfortunately, one of the owners had 2 sons. One of them died. I knew both of them very well. I kind of grew up with them because I went there since I was little with my family. Then when I was married, I went there with my husband. It was, you know, it was like the family restaurant. Then they made this whole big board of pictures of the family, and in the middle, and I'm not going to mention names, was him in black and white, and all the other pictures were in color. Everybody felt bad about it. Nobody knew how he passed away. Nobody talked about it. The family was morbid. Bad things were going on in the family. It was splintering the family. It was terrible. Then I get MS, then I'm healed, and then I decide one day on a Sunday to take a walk to this restaurant, which is about a half an hour walk from my home. I go in to refresh myself. I'm in the ladies' room, and all of a sudden, I hear my name, and I knew it was the son who knew me. And he said, "You can't leave here." And I'm like, uh-oh, this is not happening to me. And this was when my gift first came out, and I thought I was completely out of my mind. And I said, "What do you mean I can't leave here? Who is this? This is when I'm going to the ladies' room." And he said, "You have to tell them what happened." And I said, "Is this who I think it is?" Because I saw his face. And anyway, he said, "You're going to have to tell him how I died." I said, "Oh, no, I'm not." Now, this is a little bit like Whoopi Goldberger in, what was it called?
Ghosts?
Whoopi Goldberger, yeah, Ghost.
Ghost.
It had that kind of way, you know, and it looked like it was that kind of movie. And Ghost came out later, by the way, so it wasn't imitating Ghost. So I said to him, "Listen, I'm not doing this. They're going to think I'm nuts." You know, I was too young to really have the maturity to do anything about it. And I'm bolting out of the bathroom, and I'm trying to run out of the restaurant, and he's like stopping me. "You're not leaving, you're staying, and that's it. You're going to tell him how I died. If it's the last thing you do, now you get your butt over there to my cousin, who had the same name as him." And as they're a Greek family, they believe in all this, because I was engaged to someone Greek once, and they're really into spirituality. I said to him, "Do you know they're going to think I'm nuts? Do you know they're never going to talk to me again? You know how embarrassed I'm going to be to come here? Why are you doing this to me? You're ruining my life." He said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. As a tribute to you, my younger brother, who just got married, is going to have a baby, and we'll make the baby born right around your birthday. How's that?" That was like, he thought that was a great thing. I said, "Okay, you know what? I'll do it for you." So I call over his cousin, and I said, "Listen, I'm going to tell you how your cousin died." He goes, "Stay right there." He's seating people. Meanwhile, clatter, noise all over, people going in and out. This is like Grand Central Station. I'm sitting there doing a reading on a person that died. All of a sudden, I feel on my forehead, 4 slashes. So I tell the cousin this. He says, "Oh my God, 4 slashes." And I said, "Why? What's the problem?" He says, "We found him washed ashore with 4 slashes on his forehead." So I feel this chill up my spine, which I'm sure you've felt that many times. And I said, "Rudder, right?" He says, "Rudder, rudder, rudder, rudder." And then I found out the whole story. I told the cousin, I said, he went under the boat. He loved boats, this guy. He jumped off the boat, went under the rudder, got cut by the rudder, got killed, washed ashore. That's the story. Also, he told the cousin, "You tell my baby brother he's driving dangerously. He feels guilty about the death. He feels he's alive, I'm dead. He's got to take driver's education." And then the cousin said, "That's right. How did you know that so-and-so is driving dangerously?" I said, "Because I'm talking to his brother." So the baby was born on December 12th. The baby was born on the 13th. Just in the morning, just right after the 12th passed. And you know there are 365 days. So apparently the family is now healed from it. I hear that the younger brother is doing great. He has 5 restaurants in Manhattan.
Really good.
And everyone's doing good. So now that's, spirits have come to me. What about you?